All right, this is the dish that we're going to prepare today, and this is the hog that we shot yesterday that you guys joined us on the hunt. And I'm going to share a little bit of the background of this particular recipe. Several years ago, we were out hunting in a remote location, and we didn't take a lot of food on that particular trip. So we happened to shoot a hog, and that's what we had for dinner. And it's like, okay, me and my buddy, we shot about 100-pound hog, and it's just the two of us, so how are we gonna cook it? And sometimes you just get lucky from the very beginning with a recipe, and that's what we did. It wasn't even trial and error. This recipe was luck. So we came in, we cleaned our hog, we had the pit going, and we put the pit right on the hog right on the pit. We didn't put it over a direct heat. We had a side burner, so we had an indirect heat. We smoked the hog for just a little while. But in the meantime, we had found in our camper that we had some wild rice, we had some bell pepper, we had some mushroom, we had some purple onion, we had some sausage that we planned on making with another recipe later on. So we put it all together. So we smoked the hog for just a short while, we pulled it off, we pre-cooked our rice, we cut up all of our ingredients in small pieces, and we packed it in the cavity of the hog. We wrapped it up in foil, and remember, it was already on the pit for a while, so it already had a good strong smoke flavor. We smoked it the rest of the day, and when we pulled that hog off, the meat was just falling off the bone. With the combination of the wild rice, the mushrooms, the purple onion, the sausage that we had in there, the bell pepper, it was fabulous. We ate on that whole hunting trip. Well, I went on bragging about how good it was, so my friend said, well, the next party you need to make that, and we did. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do an amended version of the whole hog. What we've got here is the hindquarters, or the hams, off of we weighed the hog yesterday. It was a 160-pound hog, female sow, has good fat on it, which adds flavor to the meat. And what we're going to do now is get your favorite seasoning. This is one of my favorite, not one of my favorite Cajun seasoning. And we're just going to go ahead and coat this meat. This is really easy to do. Just whatever seasoning you like, put it on there. And now we're going to go put it on the pit and let it smoke for the rest of the day, and we'll put the recipe together later on today. These two hams, we've already seasoned them. We're going to put them on the grill for a short while to get them a good smoke flavor. And the kind of wood that we use here for our wild pork is the native mesquite trees. These are the trees that you see behind me. They add a wonderful flavor to the meat. And we're fortunate that for us, we have all the mesquite that we'll use in many lifetimes. We also have oak if we're in the mood for oak, but today it's going to be mesquite. And we're putting it on a pit that has a side smoker to it, and the fire has been built over there, so there's no direct heat right underneath the meat. And this particular pit has some really big tires on it, and we had this custom made for our ranch, and we can get this thing with the handles in the front. We can wheel this thing all over the place. We're not worried about getting stuck. Most pits have tiny little wheels. Well, that doesn't work when you need an off-road pit. So this is our off-road pit, and it makes fantastic barbecue. So let's get this meat on the grill. We're going to lay it right on the grate here. We're going to close that lid. We're going to get it up to about 275 degrees, and we're going to let it do what it does best for the next few hours, and then we'll come back shortly. We've been slow smoking these wild hog hams all day long. It's nighttime now. That's how long we've been at it. And it's out, and what we're going to do now is pull the meat apart like a pulled pork and add some other ingredients to it for dinner tomorrow. Let's go ahead and dig into this thing and see how tender it is. Look at that. That's just coming. Look at that. It's tender. It's probably hot. I'll burn my hand if I'm not careful. There's the bone. That's a party right there. Look at that. Tender. That's what you call falling off the bone. So we're gonna let this cool down because it's still very hot, and we're gonna shred it and then show you the rest of the story coming up. Okay guys, today is day 2 of the preparation of this wild hog casserole. And we smoked this meat last night. It's been in the refrigerator. This meat right now is cold. And over here we have some vegetables. We've got the purple onion, we've got the mushroom, we've got bell pepper, and we have sausage, wild pork sausage that has been grilled, and it is currently cold. And we have also prepared our wild rice. And now what we're going to do, everything here is cold. We're going to make it into a casserole, and I like my vegetables crispy. So we're going to put it in the oven at about 275 degrees, maybe 250 degrees for about an hour, just to bring everything back up to temperature, and the vegetables will still be crunchy. They will not be soggy. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and mix this. We're going to start out with some rice. I need a spoon for this. The rice is not cold. The rice is hot. I said it was cold, but it is hot. All right. Alright, we'll set this aside. Now we'll get our vegetables. Get some mushrooms in here. I think I need a third pan. Do we have a third pan back there? Thank you. Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and add our wild pork sausage. Now we're going to add our wild hog meat. This is a smoked meat, and when we warm it up together, it's just going to permeate all the vegetables with this smoked pork. All right. Now we'll make a third dish later. We have enough to do 3, so I'm not going to crowd the dishes. So we're just going to go ahead and mix this up right now. We're going to wrap it up, put it in the oven. This is what it looks like. You can't tell that it's cold, but it's cold. And we'll be back in about an hour to show you the end results. Alright, we just got our wild hog casserole out of the oven. We got our wild hog meat that we smoked on the pit last night. We've got wild sausage, wild pork sausage. We've got bell pepper, mushroom, purple onion, wild rice. It's just out of the oven. And let's take a look at what we've got here. Oh, this looks good. This is what we've got. Now we've got Tim with us, who's been hunting today, and his plane is leaving. He didn't get to stay the whole time, so he's got to run out of here. So he asked, can you get me a little bit to go with? And we are, Tim. We're not going to let you go home hungry.
Thank you, Paul.
So you're going to be the guys that are picking you up, it's their bad luck.
Yep, exactly.
So I'll fill this up for you here, and we'll wrap it up and keep it hot for you.
Perfect.
Don't break it out till you get down the road. And then
I won't.
they tell you they said they haven't had dinner. That's the time to pull it out and enjoy it. All right, Tim. Well, you have a safe trip home. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
And we'll see you next year.
Okay. We'll
Thanks.
see you. All right.
Be
bye.
safe.
Yep. You too.
This would have been marinated for a week or
Ranch Boss always goes at the end of the line.